Thank you so much, Mr. Boysen, for joining us.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. It's been about 3 months since I was here last to give you an update on the Santa Rita water reclamation facility. So I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you tonight. Again, I want to give a thank you out to Shannon Mitchell and Victor for all of the work they do on the website and keeping the day-to-day webcam going on the project. And I want to encourage anybody that would like to take a look at that to visit the city's website to do that. What we usually start these out with is a little aerial. This is with our camera that's flying over the project site. To the left was 2017, and then the other one was earlier this year. So this was done a few weeks ago, and we're flying from south going up to north over the project site. You can see the amount of construction that's going on right now, and I've got a number of still shots that we'll go through real quickly, so I don't waste any of your time, but we'll get into a little bit more detail. I didn't think it was appropriate to do it right now. But those are great aerial shots of all the construction that is occurring as we go through the construction process. That's the new final clarifier 3 and 4 that is shown right now, and to the right is the existing clarifiers. And that shot is of our new blower and chemical building that I'll talk to you about a little bit. So great shots that our staff is able to create and share with everybody. So what I'd like to go through tonight is a little different order. I'd like to start with the construction progress to show everybody what we've got built in the last 3 months. Then I'll go through the financial status, and then give you a little update on the schedule. Again, this is a photograph of our chemical and blower building. It houses our big tanks for our alum chemicals, but mostly it contains our micro turbines that provide the compressed air that go into the aeration basin. Now, the aeration basin is our main process for treating the raw sewage. This is our aeration basin, and then our side basin, or our side stream basin, is to the north. And again, this is our major process in treating the raw sewage. In this photograph, you can see where the air is bubbling up through the product, and that creates a ultimate condition for our microorganisms to break down the sewage into a treatable process. So the aeration basin has been online since March, and what I have done is gone through and compared the test results from 2018 and 2017 to see what the aeration basin has actually done to improve the water quality. The test results show that the difference in E. coli has dropped 27% in that year. The ammonia has dropped 65%. The nitrates have gone down 74%. The total phosphorus has been reduced by 42%. So that's the first process that we put online in the wastewater treatment plant. We are looking forward to greater reductions in all of those chemical components that we're putting into the river as the processes come online in the next 8 months. So this is an aerial view of the north end of the treatment plant, and I just wanted to go through it real quickly. You can see all of the congestion that's going on, all the construction that is occurring now. The existing round vessels are our primary clarifiers, and those are going to get the domes placed over them for odor control. So I wanted to point those out. The domes are being assembled right now. They'll be installed on top of the clarifiers this month. Then there's the existing treatment complex building. It's only the shell that's left. Everything on the inside has been replaced with new motors, pumps, electrical, and controls. So the outside looks the same, but the inside has totally changed. Again, these are the new aeration basins that we just talked about, and I'll talk a little bit more about the side stream. The big crater out there that just occurred in the last week, that's the demolished area for the sludge storage building. That was this second of the last round buildings with the mirrors on it. So we've taken that down to make room for the new Headworks building. The existing Headworks building is just to the left of this photograph off the screen. That will be demolished when the new Headworks is up and operational. The Octagon building, that's our new Digester 2. That's a mirrored structure of our Digester 1. The digesters are used to take the sludge to create methane. And with that methane that we gather from both of those digesters, we run it through a microturbine to create electricity and heat to offset the cost of the treatment process. So we're pretty excited about to get more methane in order to run those turbines. And then there's the digester support building in between the two digesters. That houses all the heat transfer pumps and equipment to operate those digesters. But the bigger thing that the support building houses is the FOG process. So FOG is the fats, oil, and grease program that we're starting, where we collect all the fats and greases from the downtown restaurants and hotels. We put them in the digester and create methane with that material. So again, we're creating more electricity from a byproduct. And then there's the new dewatering building. There's a photograph of the dewatering building. The block walls will be installed by the end of this month. The roof is going to go on in November, and that building will be dried in. The purpose of this building is we take the sludge from the digesters, we press as much water out of it as we can, we send that over to the side stream, and it gets treated before it goes into our aeration basin and the process. The nice thing about the dewatering building is that it provides us with a relatively dry material. It's like fertilizer that we can place in trucks and we can haul to the landfill. And then Bondad or other gravel pits can use that to reclaim their soil, and it goes to a useful purpose. Right now we pay about $300,000 a year to haul our liquid sludge away to dry land apply it. We think this is going to be a huge cost savings for the city, that we're going to haul the dried sludge with our own vehicles and staff. This is the digester support. The existing digester is to the left, and the new one is behind the scaffolding. This building will have the roof trusses installed next Monday, and the roof will follow. So before winter hits, we're going to have the digester support and the new dewatering building fully enclosed, so all of the pumps and motors and interior work can be done in the dry and heated condition. So that's our goal, is to get those buildings enclosed before winter hits, the big heavy winter that we're going to get this year. So
right.
Everyone's hoping for. I just wanted to give you a quick little shot of, this is the lower level of the digester support building. It just shows the intricacy of the number of pumps and motors and pipes and electrical and controls, HVAC, that goes in all of these buildings. The two photographs that I showed you, it just looks like a shell going up. I just want you to know that the basements of both of those buildings are almost plumbed out. So we've got a big head start on completing those buildings, even though it doesn't look like that from the outside. This is the south end of the treatment complex. This is the two new clarifiers. The existing clarifiers are the last process before the water is discharged into the Animas River. With the two new clarifiers, 3 and 4, we'll be able to double that treatment process. So again, we feel that the amount of nutrients and chemicals that we're putting into the river will be greatly reduced when these two new clarifiers come online. This is clarifier number 4 that shows the gang walls. It's a circular tank that we're using to build those facilities. The concrete has been placed in the south wall, and the north wall will be finished this week. Financially, the current contract is a little bit under $5.5 million. The total contract amount that has been completed thus far is $39.3 million, and so therefore this indicates that the contract is about 70% complete. The contingency on the project, so far there's been a total of 27 contract change orders for the construction and 5 design changes, which totaled $2.2 million. The original contingency was 5.2, so that leaves us roughly $3 million in our contingency. So that's about 58% from where we started. So if you look at the 70% amount of construction that's completed based on the finances, compare it to, we've only used about 40% of our contingency, we're doing very well financially. So I don't see any problems. In the future, we've already excavated the sludge storage building. That's the last vertical building that we're going to build. So I don't see any unknowns that would come and jeopardize our contingency. As far as the schedule goes, the contract allows 746 days. We are really close to our schedule. I think that we're within a few weeks. Again, depending on how the winter's going to go. If we have a mild winter, I'm certain that we'll make that deadline. If we have a lot of snow days, then it may lapse a little bit. But as of today, we've used 505 construction days. Divide that by the contract amount, that says that the project is about 68%. If you remember back to the financial, that was about 70%. So again, a good check on ourselves on where we're at as far as the contract goes. So for our next quarterly update, I hope to be able to give you the UV disinfection building and then the headworks building. The UV disinfection goes on top of the existing contact chambers. So again, there's no excavation involved with that. And the headworks building, excavation is done. So again, I think that we're on good track for completing on time and very good track for meeting our budgetary restrictions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boysen. I love it when you say we're on schedule and on budget. That's terrific news. Counselors, do you have any questions or comments?
I have one, if you don't mind.
Sir.
Mr. Boysen, thanks again.
Sure.
You've always given us more detail than I could ever want to know about the wastewater reclamation process.
I understand.
But it's greatly appreciated, and obviously you've done just an exceptional job, you and your team, at the role of building this facility. One of the things I'm sure many people would like to know, in terms of these domes that you described, that would go over, is it the clarifiers that they go over?
Right, primary clarifiers.
What kind of odor reduction would you estimate that will incur once those are installed?
So the domes collect all of the air and gases that come off the primary clarifier, which is the second process in all of the processes. So it is the most odorous. So we collect all the air and gases from there, and then we run them through activated carbon filters. So I would say that all of the odors coming off the primary clarifiers will be alleviated.
Great. Well, I'm sure we'll look forward to that. Will we be able to still detect it as you ride your bike by there? And do you think it'll substantially reduce? What do you think?
It will be substantially reduced. There will still be some odors there. To me, it's more of an earthy type odor than the raw sewage that you probably smell today.
Very well.
But it'll be greatly reduced. Like I said, the domes go on this month, and then the odor control is a separate unit, and that goes on in December and January.
Okay.
So after the first of the year, we'll be fully operational for our odor control.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Mayor Pro Tem?
Just interested, can you tell me where, I think you call it the sludge, goes into the Animas River?
It's the effluent, so it's really water. And technically, the water that leaves the wastewater plant is cleaner than the river water.
It is.
It is. So it is today, and it will be better in the future.
It goes down below, though, I would think, below stream, below the plant.
Yes, it's released below the plant. It's released below the ALP intake across the river, if that helps you locate it. Just above the bridge, the highway bridge is where we discharge into the river.
It's not sludge. Yeah.
It's not sludge.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's clean water.
It's clean water.
It's substantially cleaner than what you see in the river. So if you want to come and take a tour, I'd be glad to. You can look down at the bottom of our final clarifiers that are 20 feet deep. It's really substantially cleaner than sometimes the river looks, especially if there's a flood or in the fire area.
And how often do they test that water?
Daily. We
Okay.
test it all day long. So.
Okay, great.
Questions?
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for making about a 3-hour meeting condensed into an incredibly efficient presentation here. And the thing that I think clearly we're on track, and change orders are not out of control, and clearly within the realm of what you would expect in a project like this, and it's been well managed. So with that, we can look forward to the admin building being bid separately and as a second phase, the culminating project for the, which not on a separate timeline will be completed. Is there intent for a schedule for putting that out to bid and so forth?
Yes, sir. We have updated the admin building design drawings to the 2015 IBC and the IECC. You recently adopted those 2015 code requirements. The previous admin building was designed under the previous code, so we had to get those drawings updated. We've had a public meeting last Thursday for all the local contractors. We plan to put those out to bid. And there's 2 buildings. There's the admin building and then the back truck building that we removed from the original contract that we're under now. So we have 2 buildings that we're going to put out to bid at the middle of November. There's a pre-bid in middle of December, and we open bids, I think January 17th is the plan right now. So if all goes well and we get a successful bidder, we'll probably start construction sometime in July or August. I need to let the current contractor finish up his project and move off-site before I can move a new contractor, new project onto that site. So that's why I'd love to get the 2 contractors to work together and get them started in January, February, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They just don't get along that well. So anyway, the project is proceeding well. We've got the designs done, and we're out to bid in really, a month. So
If the council might remember that, the primary impetus for dissecting that out of the
Yes.
overall treatment plant effort, the larger project was to, it's more conventional construction and could be completed with more local resources. So we thought that would be better to pull that, extract that out of the sewer treatment plant project and better utilize local contractors for that more conventional office building type of construction. So, and that sounds great. And of course, we got one of those design change orders was probably to update for the new codes that we passed
right.
this year.
Part of that $2 million change order was a substantial amount for that change in design work. So.
Yeah. Didn't think about that.
Yeah, I was wondering, with most of the excavation completed and most of the buildings closing in before the winter, how vulnerable is the project to winter conditions?
Other than the new Headworks building, which will have the foundation and hopefully some of the walls up before the big snows come, I don't foresee that being a delay to us at all. We're mostly enclosed in the processes. The basins are done. So other than one building, and that's not the end of the world if we do get a good snowfall this year.
Great. Thank you. Once again, I'll just echo my colleagues and appreciation for the work that you've done and the clarity of your presentations and the manifest success of your oversight.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boysen. I had asked for the project to come every 3 months to City Council to keep the community informed, and we learned so much, and we're so very grateful that you're on schedule and on budget. And I will speak for Councilor White. We will be off council, but I sure hope we get invited
Absolutely.
to the ribbon cutting down the road. Well, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
coming tonight.